Hey guys, Jamie here. Welcome back to the channel where we take awesome out of the box. In this one, we're going to be taking a look at the follow-up to OPPO's A series device that was launched late last year. This is the OPPO A92. Yes guys, I initially got confused about the name as well. It's not A92, it's A92 as in the second generation of the A9. It's supposed to address some of the pain points from last year's model, but are the improvements enough to make you want to buy it? So let's talk about the things that I liked about this device and some of the things that I kind of wish they improved on more in this video. Before I jump in guys, I just want to say how much I appreciate you guys for dropping by and spending a few minutes. If you're new here or you're a regular that just hasn't subscribed to the channel yet, consider doing so to help us get to the next milestone of 200k subscribers. Anyway, since I did go straight into a sort of review for this device, let me show you what comes inside the packaging. You've got the phone itself, of course, and this is the shining white color variant that's configured to have 8GB of RAM and 128GB of storage. With that, there's also all the expected accessories, a SIM ejector pin, jelly case for some out-of-the-box protection, earphones, a USB-C cable, and an 18-watt charger. So pretty much all the basics are covered inside the box. Now let's talk about the A92 and what I think are some of its hits and misses. The first thing that I love about this new iteration or new version of the A9 series is the fact that you now have a full HD Plus panel. Thank God. For those of you who might have skipped out on our video for the A9 last year, you were pretty much getting a large screen at 6.5 inches, but sadly it was only HD Plus, taking away from the overall picture quality because of the lower pixel density. Well, on the A92, you are getting the same size screen, but the bump up in resolution does make a big difference for that added crispiness that the A9 was missing out on, and makes more sense for a device that was being marketed as an all-arounder for entertainment. The second pro on my list has to be the stereo speakers that they thankfully kept around from the A9 last year. While the display from the previous phone was a little underwhelming, the audio capabilities were a big redeeming factor. You're still getting the same stereo speakers on the A9 too, with support for Dolby Atmos that just elevates your viewing or gaming experience on this device. Here's a quick sample of what they actually sound like. Now, I don't think that my recording setup does it justice, but they sound really good guys, and I'm really thankful that they kept it around. But if you're not in the sharing mood, there's also the headphone jack on the bottom of the A92. Third on the list is that OPPO made a few tweaks to the cameras of the A92 to give you better overall results for both photos and video. In terms of megapixel count, you are still getting the same setup on this device with a 48 megapixel main camera, an 8 megapixel ultra-wide, a 2 megapixel portrait or depth sensor, and a 2 megapixel mono camera. While photos from the main camera are pretty much the same, the team and I did see an improvement when you switch over to the wide-angle camera. There was a bit more detail and the color reproduction was a lot better than the previous version. You're also seeing a bit of improvement with the phone's digital zoom capabilities, though I do suggest keeping it at 2x zoom, although going up to 5 is still usable, but you will see a fair amount of detail drop off since it is digital zoom after all. Now, like I said guys, OPPO has also made a few tweaks to the video capabilities of the A92. The biggest one is being able to use EIS or electronic image stabilization at 4K resolution. Now, it isn't perfect and it is more effective when you bump down the resolution to 1080p, but it will at least get rid of some micro jitters if you plan on shooting at higher resolutions. You can now use the ultra-wide camera for video as well, but sadly you are going to get capped at 720p, which is a bit of a bummer, but at least you now have that option. Fourth is that the OPPO A92 has a big battery. As the saying goes guys, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, and the battery life of the A9 was another check in the plus column last year, so we're happy to see it make a comeback with a 9 too. Battery benchmark results had it clock in at 17 hours and 35 minutes, which is easily 2 days for how I use devices primarily, or at least 1 full day if you're really glued to your system or push it to the limit. Another upgrade here is they went from 10 watts to 18 watt quick charging, so topping up the A92 will be a lot faster, 0 to 100 in about 2 hours, which is not bad given the battery capacity of this device. So OPPO may have addressed some of the pain points from last year's version, the A9, but of course, like any phone, there are still some cons. The main one for me being is that they used the same SoC from the previous model, so you are still getting a Snapdragon 665 on this device that's paired with 8GB of RAM and 128GB of storage. While there's still some zip to the processing package that OPPO chose with the A92, this will be a deterrent for someone who might want to see something more up to date in terms of hardware at this point in time. Now, it shouldn't be a problem for social media purposes, video calls, and sending out emails, and it can still handle its own when it comes to gaming. Though the 665 has always had trouble with Asphalt 9, but frame rates for some of the more popular titles on the Google Play Store are still rather decent, and frame rate stability is pretty good too. By the way, just a quick shout out to the folks over at Gamebench. They're a big help to get these metrics to you guys. They're not a sponsor for this video or any of our gaming reviews, but again, they've been a huge help, so if you want to check them out, click the link down below. Now, the main problem for OPPO and specifically for the A92 is that the mid-range segment has always been a tough and brutal war, especially for us here in the Philippines. It's where we see the most movement in sales, and now that some of the other brands have shown their cards and revealed an ace or two in the hole, the slightly outdated processor puts it at a disadvantage. That being said, guys, it does have its strong points, so if you're not a hardcore gamer and just want one of the best devices to watch YouTube or Netflix on, the A92 definitely deserves a spot on your shortlist. Unfortunately, guys, I know you're gonna hate me for this, but as of recording this video, I don't have the official price tag for the A92 just yet, but by the time this video comes out, it should have been revealed, so I'll leave a link down below or as a pinned comment for you guys to check out. Hopefully, it doesn't become another barrier for you to consider the A92. And that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you once again for dropping by. I really appreciate it. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up, sub to the channel, and hit that notification bell if you haven't already. If you have any questions, leave them down below and I'll try my best to get to them as soon as I can. For all the latest tech news and gadget reviews, head to unbox.ph, plus follow us on Facebook and on Instagram. My name is Jamie. Peace, God bless, and I'll see you guys next time.